My friends, sometimes life feels like a long tunnel with no light at the end. You pray, you trust, you try, yet it feels like nothing changes. The doors you've been knocking on remain locked. The dreams you've been chasing seem to drift further away, and the hope you once carried starts to fade. You wonder if God has forgotten your name, if your season of blessing has somehow passed you by. But hear me carefully, He has not forgotten you. God is never late. He is precise, purposeful, and perfect in His timing. What looks delayed to you is right on schedule for Him. Behind the scenes of your struggle, something is shifting. Heaven is moving. The pieces are being put in place for your victory. The quietness you feel is not abandonment, it's preparation. When God is getting ready to favor someone, He often allows a season of silence. It's the calm before the breakthrough, the stillness before the wind of blessing begins to blow. Right now, you are standing at the edge of something you cannot see yet, but you can sense it deep in your spirit. You can feel that something is about to turn in your favor. God's favor doesn't arrive with noise or announcement. It comes softly, but when it moves everything. One act of favor can do what years of effort could never accomplish. One divine connection, one open door, one unexpected opportunity can shift the entire trajectory of your life. That's the power of God's favor. It's not earned, it's received. It's not about being perfect. It's about being positioned. You may feel weary right now, but don't give up before your miracle. The hardest moments often come right before the breakthrough. Just when you think you can't take another step, grace steps in and carries you forward. Just when the night feels the darkest, the dawn begins to glow. God has seen your faithfulness, your tears, your perseverance. He's watched you keep going when quitting would have been easier. And because you didn't give up, because you kept believing when others doubted, asterisk, He is about to reward you openly. Asterisk, favor is coming. Unexpected, undeniable, unstoppable favor. The kind of favor that makes people say, "How did that happen for them?" The kind of favor that turns your waiting into winning. The kind that takes you from overlooked to overjoyed. Don't be surprised when things begin to fall into place suddenly. Don't be shocked when what once resisted you now welcomes you. When God decides to favor you, no opposition can stop it. Your setback was not the end of your story. It was a setup for a greater glory. Every delay had a reason, every detour had a purpose. What you lost will not compare to what you're about to gain. The pain you endured was not wasted. It was planting seeds for your promotion. God never lets His children walk through fire without bringing them out refined and ready. So lift your head. Stand tall again. Expect something good to happen. Speak life into your future. Don't say, "Maybe one day." Say, "It's coming now." God is ready to show you that His power is still alive, His promises are still true, and His favor is still flowing. You are about to step into a season of massive victory, one that will silence doubt and shout grace. Hold on just a little longer. The waiting season is ending. The winning season is beginning. God's favor is arriving. And when it does, your whole story will shift in a single moment. Get ready for it, believe it, and receive it, because your massive win is on the way. My friends, there are moments in life when the silence feels endless. You've prayed until your words ran dry. You've believed through the tears. You've waited through disappointment. Yet the door you've been knocking on still hasn't opened. It's in that silence that you start to wonder if maybe heaven has forgotten your name. But hear this truth. God has not forgotten you. He has been working behind the scenes, preparing something greater than what you asked for. His delays are never denials. His timing is never off. What looks like stillness is actually movement, just not the kind you can see yet. Behind every quiet season, there's divine construction taking place. The pieces are being arranged, hearts are being softened, opportunities are being aligned, and all of it is leading you toward the very thing you've been praying for. You see, God doesn't rush the masterpiece. He perfects it in secret, and when it's ready, it comes suddenly. The favor of God doesn't arrive with noise or fanfare, but when it lands, it changes everything. One touch of favor can do what years of hard work never could. One divine encounter can shift your entire destiny. The same God who opened the Red Sea, who shut the mouths of lions, who turned water into wine, is the same God preparing to open a way for you. You may not see it yet, but you can feel it, you can sense in your spirit that something is about to move. Maybe you've walked through losses that left you breathless, setbacks that stole your joy, and seasons where faith felt like a fight. But even in your weakness, you didn't give up. You kept standing, you kept believing, and that's why this word is for you, asterisk, asterisk, God's favor is arriving. Asterisk, asterisk, what was closed will open. What was denied will be released. The places where you heard no will echo with now. When favor comes, it doesn't ask for permission. It breaks barriers. It overrules rejection. It ushers in opportunity. Suddenly, people who overlooked you will notice you. Suddenly, things that didn't work before will fall perfectly into place. Suddenly, your story will shift from waiting to winning. That's what favor does. It accelerates destiny. Don't misread the waiting season. It's not punishment, it's preparation. God was building endurance in you, strengthening your faith, teaching you to trust even when nothing made sense. Because what's coming requires stronger faith, deeper roots, and greater humility. The waiting was training you for the weight of the blessing. So now, stand tall again. Lift your eyes from what went wrong and look toward what's about to go right. Speak life into your future. Declare that your time has come. Say it out loud, asterisk, I am walking into favor. My massive win is near. Asterisk, every morning, let that be your declaration, because words create atmosphere and expectation attracts miracles. This is not the time to doubt. It's the time to prepare. Clean your heart, renew your mind, reignite your hope. The same God who promised is faithful to perform. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are right on schedule for divine breakthrough. So get ready, because when God's favor arrives, it won't be small or subtle. It will be massive, visible, undeniable. You'll look back and realize every tear, every delay, every closed door was leading you to this exact moment. Your season of waiting is over. Your season of winning has begun. God's favor is arriving, and your massive victory is already on its way. Right now, there is a stirring in the spiritual realm, and it is moving toward your life. You may not see it yet, but God is orchestrating circumstances that will shift everything in your favor. Sometimes we measure progress by what we can see with our eyes, by what is happening in the natural. But favor does not always announce itself in ways we expect. It often comes quietly, working behind the scenes, arranging situations, conversations, and connections that will suddenly and unexpectedly change your life. What you've been praying for, what you've been hoping for, what you've been believing for, it's coming. And when it comes, it will come in abundance. The waiting season may have felt long, but it has been purposeful. Every delay, every closed door, every obstacle you faced has been preparing you for this exact moment. God has been shaping your heart, strengthening your faith, and aligning your steps so that when your favor arrives, you will be ready to receive it fully. Don't look at your current circumstances and be discouraged. Look beyond them into the realm of the unseen and see that God's hand has never left you. Your current struggles are not your final story. They are the prelude to a victory that will astonish you. Favor has a way of overturning the natural order. It turns losses into gains, setbacks into setups, and impossibilities into realities. What others have tried to hold back from you will be given to you openly. Opportunities will appear where none existed before. Doors that were firmly shut will swing wide, and people who overlooked you will find themselves drawn to your destiny. Favor is not just luck. It is God's supernatural intervention in your life, aligning everything in a way that human effort alone could never achieve. You must also understand that favor requires expectation. Favor cannot bless someone who has given up hope. You must keep your heart open, your mind focused, and your spirit ready to receive. Speak boldly to your circumstances. Declare that your victory is coming. See yourself standing in the place you have been waiting for. By faith, envision the success, the promotion, the breakthrough. By expecting it, you are preparing your life to receive it. The moment favor arrives, your readiness will determine how fully it will manifest. Do not be discouraged by delays or setbacks. Every step you've taken, even when it seemed fruitless, has been positioning you for the arrival of favor. You may have questioned why others seemed to move ahead while you remained in waiting, but the truth is that God's timing is perfect. He sees the entire picture, and He is aligning everything for your good. Your favor is coming at exactly the right time, and it will exceed your expectations. This is the season for miracles in your life, the kind of miracles that transform not only your situation, but your entire story. The breakthrough you've been praying for, the financial release, the divine connection, the restoration, these are all on their way. Your favor will not come partially, it will come fully. It will come with power and with precision, leaving no doubt that God has moved on your behalf. So hold your head high, lift your heart in faith, and prepare to receive. Speak life over your circumstances. Speak victory into your days. Every prayer you have prayed, every tear you have shed, every moment of faith you have exercised, they have not been in vain. God's favor is arriving. It is unstoppable, it is undeniable, and when it arrives, your life will never be the same. Your massive win is not just near, it is inevitable. When God decides to favor you, He doesn't just give you what you lost. He gives you more than you imagined. His favor doesn't knock gently. It floods in like a river breaking through a dam. It overflows every boundary, touches every part of your life, and leaves nothing the same. When His favor arrives, things that were once impossible suddenly become easy. Battles that seemed too big begin to crumble before you. Doors that were shut tight swing wide open, and the places where you once struggled become the very places of your greatest testimony. You see, favor is not something you can earn. It's something you walk into. It's the unexplainable kindness of God that surrounds you, the invisible hand that pushes you forward when you have no strength left. Favor means your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never stepped into. It means people you don't even know are being moved by God to help you, to open doors for you, to create opportunities on your behalf. Favor means that even when others say no, God's yes over your life overrides every human rejection. You may have thought you were forgotten, that nothing good was coming your way, but favor has already been released. It's moving toward you even now. You didn't miss your moment. You're about to meet it. What you've been praying for, what you've been hoping for, what you've been waiting for, it's all aligning at this very moment. God's favor is preparing to announce itself through a breakthrough so powerful that it will silence every doubt, heal every disappointment, and restore everything you lost. That's why you can't afford to let fear or discouragement take root in your heart. The enemy wants you to give up just before the favor shows up. He wants you to stop believing, to settle, to think that what you see right now is all there will ever be. But the truth is, your current situation is not your conclusion. It's just the stage being set for a greater revelation of God's goodness. You are standing on the edge of overflow, closer to your breakthrough than you've ever been. So stop replaying what went wrong and start expecting what's about to go right. Stop speaking defeat and start declaring victory. Your words shape your world. When you begin to speak favor, when you begin to walk like someone who knows that heaven is backing them, doors open faster. People are drawn to help you. Resources appear. The impossible bends to meet your faith. Maybe you've been in a season of obscurity, where no one saw the work you were doing or the faith you were holding on to. But God saw it. Every prayer you whispered, every tear that fell, every act of faith that no one else noticed, it all reached him. And now, in this season, he's bringing you into visibility. The same favor that lifted Joseph from the prison to the palace, the same favor that turned Ruth's gleaning into glory, is about to lift you into a place you couldn't reach on your own. So don't shrink back when things start shifting. Don't be afraid when blessings begin to unfold faster than you expected. That's what favor does. It accelerates. It brings divine connections, supernatural provision, and peace that doesn't make sense. You are about to see in your life what only God could do. Walk boldly into this next chapter. Speak favor over your days, grace over your future, and faith over your fears. The wait is over, the tide has turned, the flood of favor is here, and it's carrying you straight into your massive win. You didn't come this far to be forgotten. You didn't walk through the fire just to be left in ashes. Every tear, every sleepless night, every silent prayer has been heard. God has been watching the story of your endurance unfold, and he has not missed a single chapter. When it felt like no one saw your struggle, heaven saw it. When it felt like your faith was too small to matter, heaven treasured it. You are not invisible to God. You are chosen, you are seen, and you are deeply loved. There's a purpose behind every season of pain. What you thought was breaking you was actually building you. The pressure you felt wasn't meant to destroy you. It was forming strength, resilience, and character. Sometimes God hides you before he reveals you, because preparation always comes before promotion. You've been hidden, not because you're forgotten, but because God has been shaping you into someone who can carry greater glory. The waiting was never wasted. It was working for you. You see, a delay is not a denial. When things don't happen on your timeline, it doesn't mean God said no. It might just mean he's preparing the stage for something bigger than you expected. The same way a seed has to be buried before it blooms, your dreams sometimes have to go underground before they rise in full color. You may have felt buried, but you were actually being planted. Now, it's time for you to grow, to bloom, to step into the light of God's favor. The storms you survived were not random. Each one was a divine test to show you that even in chaos, God was in control. When you thought you were losing, you were actually learning. When you thought you were being rejected, you were being redirected. Every detour was taking you closer to destiny. God doesn't waste pain, he transforms it into purpose. The very things that once made you cry will soon make you stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Now, this is the moment where everything begins to shift. Heaven has already declared that your time has come. You're stepping into a divine turnaround, and what once worked against you will now work for you. The closed doors weren't punishment, they were protection. The missed opportunities weren't losses, they were redirections towards something better. The people who walked away made space for the ones who will walk with you into your purpose. You've been through enough battles to recognize God's hand when it moves, and I tell you, it's moving now. You can feel the atmosphere changing. You can sense the shift in your spirit. Things that were once stagnant are beginning to move. Dreams that were dormant are waking up. Promises that felt distant are drawing near. Favor is aligning every detail, and grace is paving every path. Don't look back with regret. Look forward with gratitude. The lessons you've learned have prepared you for this moment. You're not the same person who entered the storm. You're stronger now, more focused, more rooted in faith. What's ahead of you will not look like what's behind you. The season of struggle is making way for a season of victory. So lift your head high. The ashes of yesterday are turning into the beauty of tomorrow. You are stepping into a chapter of restoration, abundance, and joy. The same God who walked with you through the valley is now leading you to the mountaintop. Every battle had a purpose. Every scar carries proof that you survived what was meant to break you, and now that survival is becoming your story of triumph. Get ready, this is not just a small victory. This is the beginning of a massive win. God's favor is not only arriving, it's overflowing. What's coming will make sense of every season that didn't. Your struggle had meaning, your faith had power, and your story is about to shine with His glory. Your setback was never the end of your story. It was the setup for something far greater than you imagined. Sometimes God allows certain things to fall apart, not to punish you, but to reposition you. He saw what you couldn't see. He knew what was ahead, and though it hurt when doors closed, He was saving you from paths that would have drained your spirit or delayed your destiny. What you thought was rejection was really redirection. What looked like loss was actually protection. You see, we often pray for favor, but we don't always recognize it when it arrives. Favor doesn't always look like comfort. It often looks like a closed door, a detour, or even a disappointment. Because favor isn't about making life easy. It's about aligning you with purpose. There are blessings that only come after brokenness. There are strengths that only emerge after struggle. The very season that you thought buried you was the one planting the roots of your next breakthrough. Every setback carries a secret message from heaven. This isn't the end. Keep watching. I'm about to do something new. The place where you felt the most pain is about to become the place where God displays His greatest power. The tears you shed watered the soil of your future harvest. The faith you held onto in the dark is calling forth light. And the prayers you thought went unanswered are returning to you multiplied in ways you couldn't predict. So don't despise the season that stretched you. Don't curse the waiting that tested you. Every challenge built endurance, every delay trained your patience, every heartbreak expanded your compassion. God doesn't waste any part of your story, even your mistakes, even your failures. He can use them all for your good. When you thought it was over, heaven was just turning the page. You may have lost something precious, but you didn't lose His presence. You may have been betrayed, but you were never abandoned. You may have stumbled, but you never fell beyond His reach. God specializes in turning pain into power, and He's about to prove that the battle you went through was preparation for the blessing that's about to arrive. Look at the pattern throughout Scripture. Every great victory was preceded by a great test. Joseph was betrayed before he ruled. David was hunted before he wore the crown. Job lost everything before God restored double. The cross came before the resurrection. So if you're walking through the valley, remember, the valley always comes before the mountaintop. You are not at the end of your story. You're at the turning point. The setback was just the setup for your comeback. God is aligning opportunities, connections, and moments that will reveal why the pain was necessary. You will soon see that what tried to destroy you only revealed how strong you really are. The same storm that threatened to drown you will become the wind that carries you into your purpose. So, hold your head high and wipe those tears. What's coming will make you forget the years of struggle. The victory will be so sweet, the restoration so complete, that you'll look back and say, "Now I understand why it had to happen that way." God never ends a story in defeat. He always ends it in triumph. Your best days are not behind you. They are unfolding right in front of you. The waiting season has expired. The turnaround is here. You are stepping out of loss and into overflow, out of delay and into destiny, out of pain and into purpose. The God who saw your tears is about to crown you with favor. The same place where you were wounded will become the platform where you are celebrated. What was once your setback is now your setup for a divine comeback. Get ready, your massive win is closer than you think. Let me tell you something powerful. When God's favor arrives, it doesn't whisper, it roars. It doesn't tap gently on the door, it breaks it open. When favor comes, it doesn't ask permission to bless you. It floods every corner of your life. You won't be able to explain it, but you'll feel it. Suddenly, things that once took years to accomplish start happening in weeks. The opportunities that used to pass you by now chase after you. People who once overlooked you start seeking you out. That's what divine favor does. It rearranges everything. When God steps into your situation, He doesn't just fix what's broken. He multiplies what's left. The same way He turned 5 loaves and 2 fish into enough to feed thousands. He will take what little you have and make it more than enough. His favor doesn't just restore, it increases. The door that was closed in your face will become the very doorway that ushers you into abundance. And when you step through, you'll realize that the struggle was never about what you lost. It was about preparing you for what was coming. Favor means your name is being spoken in places where your feet haven't yet walked. It means ideas are being born that will include you. It means help is on its way, even from unexpected sources. God's favor can turn the heart of a king, shift the decision of a company, or rewrite the outcome of a battle. What others have to fight for, you'll simply walk into because grace has gone ahead of you. This is why you can't afford to doubt what's coming. You've been through too much, prayed too long, and waited too faithfully to let fear stop you now. The time for hesitation is over. You've endured the season of obscurity, and now favor is bringing you into visibility. The same people who didn't see your worth before will have no choice but to notice you now, not because you changed for them, but because God has marked you for blessing. Favor doesn't come because you're perfect. It comes because you're positioned. When your heart stays humble, when your spirit stays grateful, when your faith remains unshaken, God can trust you with more. Favor is not random, it's intentional. It's God saying, "You've been faithful in the small things. Now I'm about to make you ruler over much." But don't be surprised when the favor starts flowing. Some people won't understand it, some will question it, some will even be jealous of it. That's okay. Favor is not for everyone to understand, it's for you to walk in. You don't need to explain what God is doing in your life. Just keep shining, keep giving, keep growing. Let your gratitude speak louder than your success. There will be moments when it feels overwhelming, when blessings come so quickly that you can hardly keep up. That's when you'll know you've stepped into a divine season. You'll look around and realize that the same places that once brought pain are now producing joy. The people who once ignored you will have to acknowledge the hand of God on your life. So get ready for the flood. Not a flood of problems, but a flood of provision. Not a flood of confusion, but a flood of clarity. Not a flood of struggle, but a flood of success. This is the kind of favor that breaks chains, cancels debts, restores relationships, and opens impossible doors. You've cried enough, you've waited long enough, you've proven your faith. Now the windows of heaven are opening wide. Step into this season boldly, with gratitude and expectation. The favor that's arriving is not ordinary, it's extraordinary. It will move faster, reach farther, and shine brighter than you ever thought possible. God's favor is flooding your life right now, and it's carrying you straight into your massive win. So stop doubting. Stop worrying. Stop replaying the pain that's already behind you. Stop analyzing what didn't work, who left, and why things took so long. That season is over. The delay was not denial. It was divine alignment. God has been orchestrating details that you couldn't see, moving pieces that didn't make sense, and preparing blessings that are perfectly timed. It may have looked like nothing was happening, but heaven was busy on your behalf. And now it's your moment to believe again, to lift your head, straighten your shoulders, and walk forward with faith. You've carried the weight long enough. You've held on to the burden of when will it happen for too long. God is saying, let go of the worry and step into wonder, because worry limits you, but faith releases you. Fear looks at the mountain and says, it's too big. Faith looks at the same mountain and says, my God is bigger. The season ahead is not for people who shrink back. It's for those who stand tall, even when the ground feels shaky. You've already made it through the hardest part. You kept believing when it hurt. And that alone positioned you for what's next. Every doubt you battled, every tear you cried, every time you felt like giving up but didn't. Those moments were proof of your strength. You are not the same person who started this journey. You are wiser now. You are stronger now. You've learned to depend on God in ways you never did before. You've seen His hand in the dark, and that has prepared you to see His glory in the light. This next chapter of your life is not about surviving anymore. It's about thriving. Lift your head and say with conviction, my time has come. Because it truly has. There's a shift in the atmosphere, and you can feel it. The old weight is lifting. The doors that refused to open are beginning to move. The silence is breaking. The things you once had to chase will begin to find you. God is releasing a favor that attracts what you've been praying for. You won't have to strive for it. It will come naturally because grace has gone before you. You're not stepping into this season empty-handed. You're stepping in with experience, with faith, and with a testimony. You're stepping in with the lessons from every hardship that taught you to trust God's timing. And now, He's about to reward you openly for what you endured privately. People will see the glory, but only you will know the story behind it. They'll see the breakthrough, but only you will remember the battles you fought in silence. And when that moment comes, when the blessing finally manifests, don't look back with regret, look up with gratitude. Say, thank you, Lord, you were faithful all along. Because even in the waiting, He was working. Even in the loss, He was leading. Even in the confusion, He was creating something better. He never forgot you, not for 1 second. So stop doubting your future because of your past. Stop letting yesterday's pain define tomorrow's promise. You are stepping into something new, something divine, something that has your name written all over it. Expect sudden breakthroughs, unexpected opportunities, and supernatural restoration. God is about to prove that every closed door was necessary and every delay was divine. Now is your time to rise, not timidly but boldly, not questioning if it's for you, but declaring that it is. The night has ended, the dawn has arrived, and God's favor is shining on you like never before. Walk with confidence. Speak with faith, smile with hope, because your massive win isn't just coming, it's already in motion. Every step you take from this moment forward is a step into victory. So stand tall and declare it with joy. God's favor is arriving and my breakthrough is here. Walk with faith. Speak with confidence. Live with expectation. These are not just words, they are the keys to unlocking the season God has prepared for you. Too often, people wait for their circumstances to change before they step forward. But faith doesn't wait for the problem to disappear. Faith moves while the storm is still raging. Faith believes in what God has promised, even when the evidence around you says otherwise. It acts, it steps, it trusts, and in doing so, it positions you to receive the blessing that's already on its way. Confidence is not arrogance. It's the assurance that comes from knowing God is faithful. It's the quiet knowledge that your steps are ordered, your prayers are heard, and your destiny is secure. When you speak with confidence, you are not bragging, you are declaring the truth of God's promises over your life. And when you do, the spiritual atmosphere shifts, doors begin to open, opportunities align, people are drawn toward you, and circumstances begin to work in your favor. Confidence moves the invisible hand of God to act on your behalf. Living with expectation is about more than hope. It's about certainty. It's a certainty that God's favor will manifest in your life. It's a certainty that the wait is over. It's a certainty that the breakthrough, the promotion, the restoration, and the blessing are already being prepared for you. Expectation fuels faith and strengthens patience. It keeps you looking forward instead of backward. It allows you to move through life with joy rather than frustration, knowing that your victory is inevitable because it has already been promised. Even when the challenges come, and they will, faith, confidence, and expectation keep you anchored. The storms may rage, the waves may rise, but the inner peace you carry is unshakable. You begin to realize that your breakthrough doesn't depend on people, circumstances, or timing. It depends on God, and God is never late. Every setback, every delay, every disappointment was only temporary. Now, the permanent favor of God is arriving. Take a moment and reflect on the journey you've walked. The struggles, the obstacles, the doors that closed, and the nights that felt endless. They were all part of a greater plan. They were preparing you to receive something bigger, better, and more aligned with your purpose. The lessons you've learned, the strength you've developed, and the perseverance you've built are all stepping stones into the next season. Your current position is not your final destination. God has positioned you to move into the fullness of His blessing. Speak over your life today words of faith. Declare that the favor of God is surrounding you. Say it with conviction. I am ready. I am prepared. I am walking into my blessing. I am stepping into my victory. Words are powerful. They carry authority. When you speak life over yourself, you align your spirit with God's plan. You invite heaven to manifest in the natural, and you shift the energy of your environment to reflect the promise that has already been given. This is the season where waiting turns into walking, preparation turns into promotion, and faith turns into fulfillment. The past was necessary, but it is now behind you. The future is ready, and it is brilliant. Your breakthrough is not just coming, it's imminent. The favor that was promised is here, flooding your life with opportunity, abundance, and joy. So walk boldly, speak clearly, and expect without hesitation. Move forward as though your victory is already in your hands, because in the spiritual realm it is. Every step you take in faith, every word you declare with confidence, every moment you live with expectation brings you closer to the manifestation of God's favor. Stand tall, rejoice, and embrace the truth. Your massive win is here. Your breakthrough is happening now. God's favor is surrounding you, lifting you, and carrying you into the fullness of His promise. Every morning, remind yourself of this truth. God's favor is arriving. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. So many people allow the struggles of yesterday to steal the joy of today, but your future does not depend on what went wrong. It depends on what God is about to do. The favor that is moving toward you cannot be stopped by circumstances, delayed by opposition, or diminished by mistakes. It is unstoppable, undeniable, and it is already on its way. Begin each day with expectation. Don't just hope for something good to happen, believe it, declare it, and walk as though it has already arrived. Faith is not passive, it is active. It is the bridge between what you cannot see and what you will experience. Speak over your life words of promise. I am walking into favor. I am stepping into victory. I am receiving all that God has prepared for me. When you do this consistently, you align your spirit with the timing of heaven, and suddenly the impossible starts to become inevitable. Do not let past disappointments define you. Every delay, every setback, every closed door was only a setup for your next season of favor. Sometimes God allows things to fail, relationships to end, and plans to collapse, not to punish you, but to redirect you to something greater. What seemed like a loss was actually a preparation for an increase that you could never have achieved otherwise. Every trial, every tear, every moment of waiting has been leading to this exact moment. The stage is set and God's favor is moving in. Recognize that God's favor does not operate on human schedules. It is not delayed by man's opinion or circumstance. It moves according to divine timing, and when it arrives, it will arrive suddenly, powerfully, and unmistakably. What once felt impossible will now be effortless. What once seemed blocked will now be open. The people who overlooked you, the opportunities that passed by, the doors that stayed closed, they are all being rewritten in your favor. Expect miracles, expect favor, expect doors to open that you didn't even know existed. God's favor is like a wind that can shift the entire course of your life in a single moment. It doesn't just bring blessings, it brings acceleration. It doesn't just provide opportunity, it establishes position. It doesn't just give success, it ensures destiny. When favor arrives, you will not need to fight to be seen or work to be recognized. The universe will realign, and the divine will begin to operate on your behalf in ways that cannot be explained by human logic. Do not shrink back when it comes. Walk boldly into it. Speak clearly into it. Receive it fully. There will be those who do not understand it, those who question it, and those who doubt it, but favor does not require approval. It requires faith. It requires readiness. It requires you to stand firm, even when others do not see what you see. Favor will meet you where you are, lift you higher, and propel you forward into the next stage of your life. Remember, your prayers have been heard, your faith has been seen, your endurance has been noted. Now it is time for the manifestation. The season of waiting is ending. The season of breakthrough is beginning. Your joy, your peace, your promotion, and your prosperity are all on their way. God is about to show you that the struggle was not in vain, and that your faith was not misplaced. So start today by declaring it. God's favor is arriving. My massive win is near. I am ready to receive it, and I will walk in it with gratitude and expectation. Repeat it until your heart believes it, until your spirit aligns with it, and until every step you take moves you closer to the reality of God's blessing. Your breakthrough is not just coming, it is already on the way. Get ready to step into it and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined. Now is the time to rise. Now is the time to stand tall and embrace the victory that has been prepared for you. For too long, you have waited in the shadows, hoping for a breakthrough that seemed distant, feeling the weight of delays, and wondering if your prayers had been heard. But the truth is, God has been at work behind the scenes. Every setback, every disappointment, every unanswered question has been a part of the divine plan to position you for this very moment. What seemed like the end was only the beginning, and what felt like defeat was actually a preparation for triumph. You've endured the storms, you've walked through valleys of uncertainty, you've faced moments that tested your faith, yet here you are. Every tear you shed, every fear you overcame, every prayer you whispered in secret, none of it was in vain. God saw it all, and He is about to respond in a way that will overwhelm every expectation. Favor is coming, and it is not coming quietly. It will arrive with power, with purpose, and with a presence that cannot be ignored. This is the moment when your faith meets God's timing. The season of waiting is over. The delay that frustrated you was not a denial, it was divine alignment. God has been orchestrating events, opening doors, and arranging encounters that will propel you into the life you have been praying for. He has been moving in ways you could not see, preparing opportunities that will exceed your imagination, and positioning you to step into a season of exponential blessing. Don't underestimate what is about to happen. Favor is not just a blessing. It is a supernatural force that changes your circumstances, elevates your influence, and accelerates your destiny. It will turn your setbacks into setups, your struggles into testimonies, and your waiting into worship. The same God who has brought others from obscurity to prominence, from pain to purpose, from struggle to success, is now moving on your behalf. And when it manifests, it will be undeniable. Walk into this season with confidence, speak with authority. Declare your victory before it manifests, because words have power. What you speak aligns your spirit with God's plan and invites His favor to move. Say boldly, I am ready, I am positioned, I am walking into my blessing, I am stepping into my destiny. Let your faith speak louder than your fear, your hope louder than your doubt, and your expectation louder than your past disappointments. Every trial, every delay, every season of waiting was designed to prepare you for this. You are stronger now. You are wiser now. You are ready now. God is calling you out of the shadows of limitation and into the light of favor. He is lifting you into a place where doors will open for you that no one can close, where opportunities will flow toward you that no one can block, and where blessings will pour over you that no one can stop. Do not shrink back. Do not hesitate. Step boldly into the fullness of what God has prepared. Let gratitude fill your heart. Let joy overflow in your spirit, and let faith carry you forward. The breakthrough you have been waiting for is here. The promotion you have longed for is here. The restoration, the provision, the peace, and the prosperity that God promised are all on their way. Now is your time. The chains that held you back are breaking. The doors that were shut are opening. The favor that has been building behind the scenes is arriving. Step forward with courage, embrace your calling, and receive what has been prepared for you. Your massive win is not in the distant future. It is here. God's favor is surrounding you, lifting you, and carrying you into the fullness of His promise. Walk into it with faith, confidence, and expectation, and watch as your life transforms before your very eyes.